everybody. This is Lotus Petal Podcast that's back after who knows how long at this point. Well, we've got our one recurring guest on, that's Fullmetal Magdalene.
Hello, thanks for having me on again.
That's okay. I definitely wanted to have you on again because you have so much to talk about, because I believe that you have a new project, a big project, in fact, that you just released. Tell us all about it.
Yes, I do. So it's let's see where to start. It's actually the biggest project I've ever done. It's an NFT art series being hosted on OpenSea called CryptoSluts. And the whole collection is going to be 111 unique hand-drawn NFTs. They're all portraits of girls that are representing a different cryptocurrency project. So what I'm trying to convey with each character is like the different personalities of the projects that I've witnessed in either like their Telegram groups or their Twitters, or kind of based off of like the functionality of the project, or even like the logo and the colors that they use in their promotions. And I'm doing it a little bit differently than how other collections are created. Some of the collections, they're all dropped all at once, or other ones, they're kind of using the computer generation where they're minted and created when somebody who wants to purchase it kind of goes in to get it. But with these, I'm drawing them by sets of 10. And then one of the utilities of purchasing them is that you'll be able to nominate future projects to be created into CryptoSluts in upcoming releases.
That is really cool. So why did you call it CryptoSluts? That's a very interesting name.
Yeah, so for a few reasons, it is one of the biggest NFT collections up to date is CryptoPunks. And then there were a lot of spin-offs from that. So I was like, oh, well, something that would fit would be a CryptoSlut, because that's a term I've actually used for myself. There's maximalists, where people really believe in just like one token is the token. I've never really felt that way. I'm really open to trying all different types of projects, and I'm always really excited when a new one comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, I'm just kind of like a CryptoSlut. I'll just play with any project. So
Nice.
that's where that came from. But then it's also to describe just like the intense passion that people have behind their projects. Like people are fans of their projects like they're fans of their favorite sports team. So
yeah.
So it's all just kind of that.
Yeah, because one thing I've noticed whenever it comes to cryptocurrency, I'm kind of a newcomer in the whole game. Like I only just bought a bit of Ethereum, and that's the start. But I noticed like some people, they get so into Ethereum or Bitcoin. Everyone seems to hate Dogecoin though. I don't know if that's just me, but that's what I've noticed. And so that definitely makes sense with the names, like people being just really overly passionate about one cryptocurrency.
Oh yeah. And I think, I mean, it makes sense because you probably invest. I don't know how often people diversify their portfolio, but I do think that in a lot of those cases, it's because like that's their main holding. Maybe they've seen the most success in that or whatever. So that, that's kind of where that comes from, where they're like, I'm only really concerned with this one coin being successful. And then maybe seeing like the other projects as competition.
Well, that makes sense. It's kind of like with businesses. You can get like so many businesses that are really into, let's say, energy drinks. And of course, one is going to be like passionate about their own and then want to like beat out all the rest.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. But also tell me, so the last time we were on and talking about crypto art and everything, I had some people ask, what exactly is crypto art? And so can you explain that for all the good people out there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really not complicated. And if we just compare it to like social media, I think it'll be pretty easy to explain it. So when you post an NFT or mint an NFT, it's really similar to like when you post, say, if I was going to post my artwork on Instagram. But when I post to Instagram, it's uploaded to their centralized servers. And then after that, Instagram pretty much retains the rights to what I've uploaded. And if
That's what I
they
learned
make,
recently.
yeah, so if they make any money from my art being viewed on the platform, it all goes to their pocket. Or say if a social media company decides to give me any sort of dividends from what they earn from my content, it's always just like a fraction of what they make. And then you have to jump through hoops to qualify, and then they can hold it over your head. And like, if you make the wrong content, then, they'll take monetization away from you. But with an NFT, you're able to put your content onto a decentralized network that isn't controlled by any central power. And you do have to pay a bit of a fee to mint it or to put it on there, but that's what rewards the network for wanting to put it up there, rather than the reward for Instagram and why you can post it for free or any social media is that they're going to get that money from viewership. And then once it's up there, you still own it. Like now that you have a crypto wallet, you'll understand. So where your cryptocurrency is in your wallet right now, that Ethereum you bought, that's where your NFT, like your crypto art or whatever, and it can be like a JPEG, an audio file, a video file, a 3D file. You could make a podcast into an NFT. So anything like that, it's going to be in your wallet until you decide to either send it to somebody else's wallet so you can gift crypto art or NFTs to people, or you can sell them on an open marketplace such as OpenSea. That's the one I have the most familiarity with right now. And again, OpenSea just helps to facilitate the sale and to host people's art so people have somewhere to come and find art for sale. But
Mm.
they never touch your artwork or your content. So they can't like come and take it down or anything. And then the incentive for them to let you come there and use it is they get like a really small 2.5% fee to facilitate the sale.
Yeah, I got another question, which was wondering, is crypto art, would you say, is it like what you make, is it like a representation of the cryptocurrency like Ethereum or Bitcoin?
I don't think that it has to be. I definitely kind of felt like if there was a differentiation between like necessarily an NFT and crypto art, then you would say that crypto art is artwork that's not only on the blockchain, but is about cryptocurrency. But I think that it's starting to become interchangeable, where crypto art is just artwork that's minted onto the blockchain.
Oh, I see. Okay. And so whenever it comes to that, what would you say has been like your favorite like project so far that you've ever done whenever it comes to crypto art or NFTs?
It's got to be the CryptoSluts one for sure,
I
because
had
I've
a feeling you were
never,
going to say that.
yeah, I've never had like a real solid kind of project, and it's evolving with the community where people get to come in and nominate future projects that they want because they came in and invested in the previous piece. So it's really
Mm.
fun to like share the excitement and the growth of it. And then um I did add some more utility to the NFTs in besides just nominating the future ones. I'm also going to open a merchandise shop for the collection.
Nice.
So when you purchase a CryptoSluts NFT, it does come with a one-time redemption for a signed t-shirt of that particular girl that corresponds with your NFT. But if you're planning to resell the NFT, you probably wouldn't want to trade in on that because that would make the value go down. But let's say you got one and it's like your favorite crypto and you're like never going to sell. Well, you'd also get included with that a free signed t-shirt of that piece. And then past that, the NFT holding it will get you 20% off of any other merchandise in the store as long as you hold it.
That's really cool. So basically, if somebody buys one of your lovely CryptoSluts, they also can end up with a signed T-shirt by you.
Yep.
That's some pretty cool advertising. I mean, now you're starting to tempt me. Except I'm not rich.
Well, that's why I'm excited to have the merch shop, because the merch shop's going to be open to anybody. So if you just enjoy the artwork, but you don't have the funds laying around for the actual price, which the prices they went for really surprised me yesterday. It was incredible. But then there will be like t-shirts and wearables and like even stickers, so that if you have one that you really like, you can still get a piece of it.
Nice. Yeah. One thing that I'll say is after the first podcast we did together, you sent me like a bunch of your stickers, and I just got to talk about it. There was the one, and I forgot, one of my favorite ones was the one where you had like the pink-haired girl kissing like a dollar sign. I don't know what's the name of that one.
Oh, she was like kissing the Bitcoin symbol.
I mean the Bitcoin symbol. Sorry, everyone, I'm not a morning person here. Yeah. Now, oh no, now I know why I thought it was a dollar sign at first, because it had like the sort of the two lines through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And how I've always wanted to know, how popular was that particular girl? Because she's definitely one of my favorites.
Oh, well, that's actually a great question, because that has those weren't ever for sale in the shop. I made those just as promotional stickers, because that art is actually placed on a like 3-foot by 3-foot canvas that I did it as a collaboration with another fellow Bitcoin artist, Ipo Limberg, and he works in epoxy. So it's printed on epoxy, and then he made the Bitcoin out of epoxy, and then it's got an epoxy coating, so it's like nice and shiny.
Wow.
And
yeah, it really is. I'll post like a picture of it later for this podcast so everybody can see. It's like such good quality.
Yeah, he is
in a safe place.
He's an epoxy genius. Like, he's really great with it. And he actually proposed the collection. So it's going to be, I believe, 5 or 6 pieces. It's still in the works because these pieces just take so much time to create. But her in particular, she's the taste of Bitcoin. And then we've got the sight of Bitcoin is also created as well. And then we still have like the smell of Bitcoin and the touch of Bitcoin and the sound of Bitcoin. And then I think we might be doing the love of Bitcoin as well. So that's coming up. But we're living in different countries, so coordinating it takes a little more time.
Oh yeah, I know that. I've lived abroad before, as probably most people by now know. And I cannot tell you how annoying even just time zones in America alone can be crazy.
Right? Like, I'm always not even sure necessarily what exact time zone I'm in here in America sometimes.
I know it's such a big country. However, one other thing I gotta ask you whenever it comes to these like Bitcoin babes or the crypto sluts, how do you let's say coordinate the colors and designs with each of the cryptocurrencies? Because one thing I noticed, especially looking at your new series, one thing I really admired about it was how like each and every single one of them is like very unique and very, as I said, individual from one another. So how do you like figure out what sort of like coloring to put in it? What kind of like even the hairstyle for each girl?
Well, I definitely start off with the branding colors, and also like I'll draw from the shapes that are included in the logos. But I won't necessarily always use that, but that is something I'll draw from. And then say, for example, the Tezos girl, the reason she's in a baker's hat is baking is a term that they use for some of the terminology in the project. So that would be something that people that are really into Tezos would see.
Yes, that's really interesting now that you mention that, because for those that aren't as into crypto, you look at it and you don't necessarily understand like why, let's say, some are in a baker's hat or others are actually in an army helmet.
The
But
Link Marine. That's the Chainlink fans call themselves Link Marines.
oh,
And
very
so that's
cool.
why she has that hat. So I'm
And
definitely trying to make it very specific to the culture around the project.
that's really cool. So another question I have for you is, what exactly got you into crypto art in the first place? Like, what was your inspiration that brought you into it? Because I know I believe I'm remembering correctly in the last podcast, you said that you were always kind of into drawing. So why
Yeah.
crypto art in particular?
So I've been drawing since I can remember. And then I never really thought that I would go. I mean, I wanted to do something with it in the future, but I always felt like it was out of reach. Like you either had to be like the next Andy Warhol, or like you couldn't make a living doing art, which was it's so far from the truth, but that was just like my perception and lack of understanding of the market. And then so I just went into waitressing and I would just draw for fun. And then I started getting into cryptocurrency because I wanted a way to get out of waitressing, because I wasn't really able to like stack money, and I didn't feel like I had any retirement or anywhere to kind of grow. So I kind of started getting into crypto because it was around 2017 and it was a bull market. So me not even knowing necessarily what I was looking at the time, I just got really excited because the prices kept going up. And everybody was all like excited and saying this was the new tech. So I was like, okay, I'm in. And like now that I've learned about it, I still really believe in it. But definitely in the beginning, I just kind of had money signs in my eyes, which I think is normal.
Oh, everybody does.
Yeah. But I guess how it started molding into crypto art specifically was I was living in Denver back in 2020. And funny enough, I had a day off of work and I went to walk down to the local art supply store. And when I was coming back from the art store, I noticed that the food trucks that were parked along the road, they were saying that they were accepting DAI, which is it's a cryptocurrency that's affiliated with the Ethereum chain. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. They're accepting cryptocurrency. So I started asking, I went up and asked, I was like, oh, you guys are accepting DAI. How'd that happen? And they said it was for the Ethereum conference that was in the building that they were parked in front of. And so I was like, no way. I didn't know it. It ended up being, it's ETH Denver, and it's like the biggest conference, I think, in the world for Ethereum.
Are you kidding? Wow.
Yeah, it was nuts. And I was like, okay, can I get in? And all I had to do, I think I had to like sign up for the event online, and then I was able to get in and walk around. Like I didn't even have to pay to get in. You could just go in, and they had speakers. They had like booths upstairs for like different projects. They had merch. And then they even had a little art gallery. I believe it was IRL art, if I'm not mistaken, that had some art up. And that's kind of where it started hitting me that there was a budding art scene within the crypto space. And
if I'm to interject in here, I
sure.
never actually heard of crypto art until you and I ended up following each other. It was originally on Twitter, I believe, but yeah, and that was the days when I had Twitter. But I definitely remember, like, I was like, because I looked through all your art and your page, and I was like, this is very interesting. I wonder, she has some very like pop art influenced stuff, and it's really cool. But and I know it's a hashtag, it's like crypto art. I wonder what that is.
Yeah, that I actually got into making digital art because of crypto art. So before that, I was all just I would do acrylic paint, ink, and colored pencil mainly. And after the conference, and one thing to note at the conference was there was like rainbows leading you around the conference. So like a lot of
Wow.
rainbows, bufficorns, unicorn stuff. Like, so that's why the Ethereum girl has a unicorn horn and has like the tail like
Mm.
she does. So that's like where the inspiration for that character comes from. And I created my first version of her after going to that conference. And that really started, I guess, crypto art for me, where I was making it about cryptocurrency.
Actually, I admit, one of my favorites in your Crypto Sluts series is definitely the Unicorn Girl, because I love rainbows, I love unicorns, I love anything that's really colorful. So that one really stood out to me.
She looks really fun, huh? Like she just looks like she'd be fun to hang out with, I think.
Oh yeah. And also, because I'm right now looking at the Crypto Sluts that you released so far, there's one that's like redheaded with like heart
Hmm.
sunglasses, and I hope that you don't mind me saying she kind of looks a lot like you. It's almost like a self-portrait.
Oh, it is.
I thought so.
Yeah.
So which cryptocurrency? Oh, it looks like it's Bitcoin because I just looked at it a bit more closely. So it's Bitcoin that you're the most crazy for.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, it is my number one. Um, and I really do believe that it's not going anywhere. I even told my brother the other day, I was like, if you're gonna get involved, because I'm still trying to get him involved, it's like you should get into Bitcoin. Just start there.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
not giving
I know
financial
it's
advice to anybody else. LOL. But
yeah, well, I've been trying to get members of my own family involved, but a lot of them are boomers. They're having a bit of I would say a harder time understanding it all. They're like, how can you have currency online? That's the craziest conversation you can have it. It's like,
right.
well, it's made by like little codes, I'm sure, and I'm pretty illiterate whenever it comes to technology. I'm just the kind of person that goes like, does it work? Okay, good. Don't tell me
Right.
any more details. I mean, I'm 100% an artist, and I'm sure you can understand that one.
Oh yeah, like I think that's one of the things to kind of look at for artists that want to get involved in crypto art is it can feel kind of daunting to have to learn a little bit of like the technical skills to um interact on the blockchain. And like, you got to learn to get a cryptocurrency wallet. You got to get used to holding your 12 or 24 word seed phrase and knowing that if you lose it, there's nobody to go to actually get your wallet access back. So it's
There's
that can
stuff.
be just daunting in the beginning.
Mm, yeah, I can imagine. But
um
yeah, go on.
oh, and then I know that even then people will be like, okay, so I get paid in crypto, but then how do I spend it? So I make all this money and how do I use it?
That is actually a big question. So since that we're on the topic, how would you say you spend cryptocurrency? Because not like you can really go into many stores and be like, I have Bitcoin. Can I buy this with Bitcoin?
Yeah, too bad we're not there just yet.
Oh, we will
But
be.
right, El Salvador is leading the way that you can actually pay for quite a bit in El Salvador with Bitcoin now. But
Oh wow, now I'm going to El Salvador.
so right now there's a lot of platforms that are kind of facilitating cards that you can use, and you're not actually spending your crypto. Like I think Coinbase has one. Is that who you said you're going with right now?
Yeah, Coinbase.
Yeah, I
And I
think
thought
they
I
are.
saw some ads for a Coinbase card.
Yeah, so it's not that you can spend your crypto, but what they do is they allow you to sell your crypto to them, and then they give you the USD that you can then spend on the card. So I think that that's like
Oh,
a really common option for people. And
yeah.
Coinbase isn't the only option. There's actually quite a few. There's ones that give you cash back. even.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, because this would be good for anybody watching this who are interested in getting to crypto and they might not necessarily know what to do. I would describe crypto art as almost a gateway drug into the crypto world.
that is so true.
Yes.
I 100% agree.
Because I mean, pretty much everybody, young and old, keep hearing the term like cryptocurrency, but they don't really ever get interested until they start seeing the artists like you out there. Because as I said, it's quite a unique form of art, I'd say, and it's actually good advertising for cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, and I think that like that's why I do think I make a differentiation between crypto art and NFTs, even though I don't know if that's like how everyone sees it. But just because I know that there are a lot of crypto artists who part of the passion and like the direction and purpose they feel in making their art that is about crypto is promoting it for a wide adoption because they really believe in the projects and they really believe that it's going to benefit people to get involved. So it's
Hmm.
like very good grassroots advertisement, especially for Bitcoin.
Yeah, of course. Because
Because there's no like advertising team for Bitcoin, you know, there's no like central or for a number of them, but now we've got coins that do have a whole advertising team.
yeah, because one thing I certainly noticed is I don't think that there are many, although I don't watch much TV at this point in my life. I don't think that there are many ads on TV for cryptocurrencies or anything.
You know what blew my mind was I don't watch football, so it was funny that it was even on, but it was like college football on a Saturday recently, and crypto.com was sponsoring like every halftime show the whole day. And I was like, no way.
Welcome to the future.
Right?
Welcome. I mean, there's a lot of people who are going on about how we might be entering into a cashless society soon, and cryptocurrency is going to be like part of that. I mean, what do you say to that? So, I mean, I just only thought of it.
I mean, yeah, crypto is going to be the future of currency. I don't know what cash, like why we would keep using cash. Um, the only scary thing about that is like I know that as far as governments are concerned, they would prefer to have us using a centralized version of cryptocurrency because and I believe China's already been experimenting with this, but they could build into the code the ability to automatically take money out of your account, freeze you out of your account, decide what you can and can't spend money on.
Well, it's
So
not just places like China that are doing it. I I'm pretty sure that in England, the country they used to live in for many years, they're right now trying to slowly phase out of using cash because there are many places, especially in London. Apparently, I haven't been there like anytime recently, who are who say like, oh, because of this current pandemic, you shouldn't be using cash. Which I'm all like, I think there's something else to this story than just a virus.
well,
I mean,
that's
I
the
caught the virus earlier this year and I survived.
how was it for you? Was it pretty gnarly?
Um, I do appreciate that because I'm young, it probably wasn't as bad as it would be if it affected somebody older, but in fact, my whole entire family caught it, including my parents, and it actually wasn't as bad as many people say. I mean, I'm not going to say it's fun, but it all affects us in different ways. So for me, it I just like got a headache briefly, then I was just dealing with fatigue for an entire month and a little bit more after that. And that was about it. Now it was my mom and brother who lost their taste and smell. And and the virus actually attacked my dad's stomach, but despite the fact he's the oldest out of all of us, he ended up being the most okay, ironically enough.
That's so crazy. You all got such different symptoms. That's wild.
Yeah,
Glad
and
it didn't hurt any of you like too bad though, besides just
yeah,
being not fun.
Yeah, it's really just a fatigue that really hits you because you just want to sleep all day, but then when you just get tired of sleeping, which yeah, that can happen. It's, you just don't have any energy to do anything, not even watch TV or look at your phone.
Dang.
Yeah. So you kind of like lay there and you're like, I don't know what to do. I have absolutely no energy. Though I managed to make one video for my channel while I was still recovering, which I don't know how I did it. I really don't. So this is why everybody, I put it out there. Just stay healthy, take your vitamins, do your exercise. Is just do all of that and don't let the media scare you into thinking this is a bubonic plague. Just probably be extra careful. If
I can't say 100% because I'm not the government, but I would bet that a big reason why they're pushing for cashless is there's just more centralized control over money, and money is the main form of control that they have over the populace. So if
oh
they can tell
yeah,
you where you can, because like I think that we vote with our money. Like if you don't like the way a business is being run, you cannot spend your money there. And what's a business's incentive to cater to the customer, if the customer doesn't have the right to like not spend their money there? Or if you want
yeah,
to support somebody, you would, you want to give them your money. So the freedom to spend your money where and when you please is huge. But I don't think the conversation was really being had before crypto came out. Because also, I don't think a lot of people understood that when your money is in a bank, it's not considered yours, and they will just close your bank account, or they'll, the government can just come in and take money should they see that you owe it to them.
Yeah, that's true. Because I noticed because I don't know if you know about the video share platform Odyssey. Are you on Odyssey?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Odyssey, they're awesome, and you know that you can receive tokens from them. That's
Mm-hmm.
probably everybody. I mean, anyone watching this, you need to subscribe to my Odyssey because they're not as difficult as YouTube. But anyway, I'll stop the self-promotion there. But Odyssey are actually having some trouble, and I think they're still having trouble from the government right now because they're trying to like shut down their token system where they use like their own version of crypto. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, I definitely saw that. To say that they stand alone in what the government's trying to come at them for is silly, but my assumption is based on their platform. So Odyssey, in comparison to YouTube, from what I understand, they just literally don't have the ability to take your video down. So if somebody uploads something onto Odyssey that goes against like the laws of the country they live in, the only person that the government can go after is the person that uploaded the illegal content. They can't come at the platform. So kind of how they're able to control YouTube through that by making YouTube responsible for the content that's uploaded. Odyssey's like, we'll just never give ourselves the ability to do that to the people uploading on the platform.
Oh, so that's why they don't necessarily censor you. That's interesting because I gotta tell you that the reason I started to really love Odyssey was because they couldn't like attack you for things because on YouTube, because I like to make a lot of like little commentary videos about music videos. YouTube, they're always coming after me for like copyright infringement, even though I thought fair use was a thing.
And then you're like considered guilty until proven innocent. So you're like, well, I'm going to appeal it, but I don't know how long the appeal is going to take. And appeals for strikes on any social media are so all over the place. Like they're never consistent.
No, they're not. And that's the thing that drives me nuts about YouTube. Because I even know somebody who actually bought the rights to a song to use for their live streams, and YouTube struck them down for it. And it took them forever to appeal it, saying, this is the proof that I actually bought the song.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, anybody listening who's thinking about, if you have a YouTube account and you have a bunch of videos on there, I think one of the most brilliant things Odyssey did for onboarding is the ability to mirror your YouTube channel automatically to Odyssey, and all you have to do is plug it in. It's really simple. So if anybody's thinking about hopping on Odyssey and you have a channel, just mirror it to Odyssey as a backup, and it continues to upload your videos from YouTube. Every time you make a new video, it's going to automatically go to your Odyssey account as well.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Although apparently the reason I couldn't do that is because I don't have enough subscribers right now. Because I actually emailed them and they said, oh, you need at least I don't know, it's like 1,000 subscribers, which that's a bit like, oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what they told me.
That doesn't I don't know if they changed it, but I only have like 120 subscribers on YouTube, and I mirrored my account before I even had that many.
Then
So,
who knows?
I wonder what's going on there.
I don't know, but that was the only real, I guess, quote, problem I had there with Odyssey. But besides that, I mean, they've been good about not striking me down or getting all angry at me for using certain terms, because YouTube as well, they just like flip out at you, because who knows, maybe once this is on YouTube, they'll consider the term crypto slut inappropriate or something. Because didn't you get banned from TikTok because the crypto sluts are too hot for them?
Yeah, so the word slut alone has gotten some of my posts on Twitter flagged, and I've been able to resolve all of those strikes. But that's really frustrating because they give you like two options. They're like, you can either admit fault that your post is bad and get your account back, or you have to appeal it, but we're going to take away your ability to access your account while it's in review, which is crazy because I was in the middle of promoting my collection and I got flagged. And I was like, well, I don't want to not be able to access my account because this is a very important time to be online, but I also don't want to accept a strike when I didn't do anything. So that was crazy.
Yeah.
But
I
TikTok, go on.
Oh no, I was just about to say, as I DM'd you on Instagram about that, I was like, how are they too hot for TikTok? They're actually one of your more PG works.
Right. It was actually the art that was found to be, and it's hard too because I don't even get that many views on TikTok. So, and not all of the crypto slut art uploads I've put on there have been flagged. I think it's just the bad luck of like the 1 in 300 views I get per post, like somebody had a problem with the artwork. But it got different pieces got flagged enough times, and then every single appeal I put in came back and they said, nope, you totally 100% broke the community guidelines, and up until the point where they were like, you're not allowed to post for a while, which I was like, there's no sexual content, it's innuendo, but if anybody's projecting anything more onto it, it's all in your imagination. But what's shown is a face, and that's it.
Yeah, it's just a face, and they just got like a bit of cryptocurrency on their tongue. It actually looks more funny in a good way than like sexual. I mean, maybe
Like,
I'm Little Miss Innocent here. Who knows?
well, that was I was really trying to like do something where it could be taken different ways, because it's like, in one way, the crypto, maybe she's just really enjoying the taste of that crypto candy, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought it was more like a sort of crypto candy.
Right. Or you could take it, you know, based on the title of the works, I understand, and the style. It's like you could take it to a sexual innuendo, but still it's honestly my most demure work so far.
Oh, I know. So you know, I just end up thinking to myself, I think people are just too dirty minded out there. As I said, maybe I'm being like Little Miss Innocent here, but I'm like, come on, people. you need to just not have such a dirty mind all the time. What if she just
I,
likes the taste?
I kind of come from it with more of a, I look around at all of the content that's currently being hosted, and sexually enticing content is in no way discouraged on any platform.
100% no, except Gab.
Yeah, which I never even bothered to upload my artwork there because I understood that. So I was like, that's cool if that, because I understand if a platform's like, we're not down for that. But I mean, on TikTok, I can't browse through TikTok without seeing like one or two or three or four half-naked women doing something.
Yeah. Well, the thing I find the most disturbing about TikTok is they don't even take videos down when the women are underage. It's a bit like what is this? Because you get sometimes like 13-year-olds, 15-year-olds, like kind of bouncing around and barely anything. And
Well,
Hmm?
remember when, I don't know if you remember, but when TikTok first came out, what I discovered TikTok was from the cringe compilations that were on YouTube.
Mm,
And a lot of the themes for that was people were like, TikTok just seems to be for like underage kids and pedophiles.
yeah, that was a thing I found just really creepy. I mean, it's like one thing if like you're at least 18, okay, fine. But I mean, with like underage, it's just nah. But then if you ask me, I don't think anybody under 18 should be online in general. Just sorry to any kids out there.
Yeah, I think that's it's really hard because the internet is just such a crazy, wild place to think of like kids just roaming free on the internet is really crazy. Because I had a computer for the first time when I was, I think, 15.
Yeah, same with me.
And
I was around the same age, or maybe 15, 16.
yeah, and my dad was born in like the 50s. And so when he
Mm.
got me a computer for school, like he had no understanding of like what kind of stuff I had access to as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, I remember my parents had more of an understanding because they were born in like the 50s as well. So they were a bit more up on it, but then at the same time, because I was quite a responsible kid, they more or less trusted me because all I ever did online pretty much was either do schoolwork or look at a bunch of K-pop videos.
I
That was
think I would have gotten into like or rather I'm grateful that social media was not a big thing when I was still under the age of 18, because I can only imagine the stupid stuff I would have uploaded and regretted later had I had social media at 12. And that's the thing I see with these younger girls is they're just mimicking what they see everybody else doing.
Yeah, because we all know how teenagers love to just follow the crowd. And
Yeah, because they don't know who they are yet.
no, they don't. And I mean, everyone's been through that phase where they don't 100% know who they are. I mean, when I was like in middle school, me and my friends, we were all like these emo kids, for example. We were like, yeah, we're cool. And it's like, no, you weren't. So, I mean, that's what kind of like really freaks me out about kids these days on social media, because they're so immersed in this world that their parents barely have any concept of. And they end up having like a completely like separate lives from the real life. And I heard of like even girls who just count down to their 18th birthday just to make an OnlyFans account. And let's be honest, you're even when you're 18, you're still kind of stupid. You're only just an adult. And so it's like, how many are gonna post stuff that they might regret?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's hard to, I mean, even though the internet has been around, it seems like for a decent amount of time, I think the concept of something being up forever, especially now that we're going into putting things on an immutable ledger on a blockchain,
Hmm.
it's like taking that into contemplation is still kind of difficult for me as an adult. And it's like definitely over the head of a child.
Yeah, because I assume like you're around the same age as myself. I mean, I don't necessarily ask people their age. And I'm pretty sure that both you and I can remember the days before like there was even any of this social media. It was such like a completely different world. It was only until like I don't know, the mid 2010s when social media really took off.
Right, when like more people had smartphones, because I remember like in school the coolest thing to do was those flip razor phones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had one of those flip phones too in middle school.
Yeah, you weren't cool if you didn't have it.
Yep. And I only had one picture or two pictures to be fair and on those flip phones and those were just my cats.
Right, and the photo quality was just trash.
Oh yeah. So I still remember to this day one particular photo of one of my cats at the time. That one was particularly cute, but it's long gone. So sorry
Oh, that
everyone.
would be cool if you still had it, like very like a snapshot in time.
I know. Maybe I might find a similar photo to that because that one cat is still alive. Unfortunately, the other one died quite a few months ago.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
that's okay. Yeah, I'm still kind of sad about it.
Oh, that's understandable. It's hard to
Yeah,
live with. They're like a family member.
I know. Do you have any pets you'd make any sort of drawings of?
Oh, not right now, but I really want to get another cat. I had to give up my last kitty because I moved from an apartment into a roommate situation where cats weren't allowed, and it just broke my
Uh-oh.
heart.
Oh, I'm really sorry about that. I hope he or she's in a good home now.
I think she is. The people that adopted her had a couple other cats, and they had kind of built their house to accustom to the cats playing, like they were cat people.
Oh,
So
nice.
if she was gonna go anywhere, I guess I couldn't have really asked for a better spot, but still, wish I
Yeah.
could have kept her.
I mean, my living cat, she just wouldn't adjust well to living in a situation with loads of other cats, let alone people, because she's just like she's she's doing really well as an only pet, and she just wants the immediate family around her and nobody else. She just does not like other humans, other animals, especially other cats. So
Gotcha.
so I'm glad that your old kitty is more willing to adjust.
Yeah, she ran off with the other cats. So by the time I was leaving the house, like I didn't even get to say goodbye. I was like, I felt abandoned. I was like,
Oh,
okay, well, I'll miss you.
oh, yeah. But I understand like definitely wanting to adopt another kitty because I've been tempted to do that quite recently. Even though I probably won't anytime soon because as I said about my living cat, she's not very good with other like people outside the family.
She's like, don't mess up a good thing. I like it like this.
Yep. Well, to be fair, she was like picked up from the streets and probably abandoned when she was a kitten.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So so yeah, but I think it would just be cool if there could be something like crypto pets. That's
Uh,
kind of a cool concept.
Well, have you heard of Crypto Kitties?
I don't think so, not until now.
Oh yeah, because yeah, Crypto Kitties is actually another really big collection. You should check it out.
Ooh.
And then I know somebody that I met through the Vegas NFT scene is really into one called Moon Cats. There's so many now. Have you been on OpenSea or any NFT marketplace?
No, I haven't, but I'm certainly interested now.
Yeah, definitely like just maybe just start with OpenSea and go on and just browse different collections. You'll be surprised.
Okay, sure. I'll definitely look into that. But I certainly have that as an idea for you. Just have your own edition of just the crypto pets. Maybe you can do something like birds too.
That would be a cool expansion because I pretty much just stuck to girls so far, but eventually maybe some animals would be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. and actually, I've always wanted to ask, like, why did you specifically choose like really sexy women to represent your crypto rather than like, let's say
Ye-
something else like foods or like animals or even plants. I don't know.
You know, when I started working on my art and like really trying to build a career out of it, it was when the lockdowns happened initially. And so in all that
Oh.
chaos, I was just like, and especially because I was working as a waitress and I was looking at the situation, I was like, I don't feel like the service industry is going to continue to be as lucrative as I had always been able to rely on it to be. And that's actually, been the case.
Mm.
And so I was like, okay, I've always wanted to do something with my art. I was seeing it was actually, so before crypto art, I felt like I could maybe make a career because I saw people doing it through social media. And so I was like, okay, so I just need to start drawing because I like the first thing to do is like, okay, I just need to start like really actually making content. And it was the first time I had really asked myself, like, well, if I'm just going to make content, what do I want to draw? And I don't really know specifically why, but I just wanted to draw sexy girls. Like I
Express
just,
the sexy woman in you.
yeah, I think it's like because that's definitely a part of me, but it's not something that I express really in any other facet of my life. So it's like a really nice outlet to explore those themes and that energy. Because like I was just enthralled by like Britney Spears and Destiny's Child and Christina Aguilera when I was younger. And I was just like, what is it about you that just seems, I just can't look away. Like it's just, you just seem so amazing.
Oh yeah. Well, especially like for me, it was always like Britney Spears to the end.
I
I
know
was like,
she's like
oh
my favorite.
yeah, there's always just something about her. And I never liked it when people would say she couldn't sing, because actually when she used her natural voice, she actually could sing very well, like Christina Aguilera. And
Hmm.
I'm not knocking on Christina at all, because she is really talented too. But with Britney Spears, she just had this like vibe, this energy that where you just could not take your eyes off of her.
Right. And I always really liked her music. I always really liked her music videos. Like
Mm,
actually Toxic came on at the coffee shop the other day and I was like, you know, I still think this is a good song. I really like it.
still good to this day.
Mm-hmm.
But I always loved like Oops, I Did It Again or a Stronger. I think Stronger is definitely my favorite by her.
Yeah, and I kind of like how she's like super like just super sexy, but also always kind of kept that like bubbly, kind of like just fun and innocent feeling too. Like that was a really interesting balance for a pop star.
Yeah, it was. And also just the fact she always like remained really down to earth, despite the fact, especially in the 2000s, she was just the biggest pop star in the world. Like literally everybody knew who she was.
Yeah, no kidding. She was like the pop star.
And yet, one thing that always stood out for me, and that's what I even mentioned in my video about her. I don't know if you ever saw it. It was from a few months back before her whole conservatorship case really hit.
Mm-hmm.
This
I think
this
I
main
did.
yeah, and it's like that she never even really dated other celebrities. She just always dated the sort of like quote nobodies. Which
Right. Remember the Kevin Federline?
oh yeah, I mean he literally was a nobody until he started dating her.
Yeah. Her
But
whole
it's like
story is really crazy.
it is. And that's why I was kind of impressed when you actually made one bit of art that was based on her like Baby One More Time album cover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that, and I always wondered, was that like supposed to represent like the fact that she was like trapped as a celebrity and like in the conservatorship?
Yeah, it was definitely so the Masked Girls collection, which that was kind of added into there. It was inspired by the animated short film called In Shadow, which if
Oh.
anybody
you should definitely check it out. It's one of the most brilliant modern pieces of art that I've seen. Like, I love it, and I actually created the collection to hopefully maybe introduce more people who wouldn't find it to it. But
Nice.
so that piece was just kind of like, I was watching, because a lot of people, when the Free Britney movement came out, were going back and kind of revisiting like her childhood, kind of what she was subjected to in the Mickey Mouse Club, and how she was, you know, at the time when she was on stage and dancing in those little skimpy outfits, like that wasn't the norm, and it wasn't as like accepted as it is now. And people were talking about like some government people were like, I would shoot her, and she was 16. And it was just crazy. It never really felt like anything she was being subjected to was like her own wishes from like just the
Yeah.
beginning.
Well,
And
yeah.
then like,
Oh, go
sorry.
on. No, I was just
Oh,
about to say on that, I guess it was even just the whole thing. Like, I heard like even at the very start of her career, they wanted like to put her in even skimpier outfits, but she was like pushing back on us, saying, "I'm not comfortable with this."
really?
And yeah, that's what I've heard. Like she wasn't always wanting to like be put in the really like revealing sexy outfits, and that was another thing that I thought was just unfair, because as I said in the video that I made about her, she at one point was trying to gain some creative control, which is why there's this lost album, The Original Doll.
Huh.
Yeah, and
That
she was,
makes me think of Lucky from her Oops, I Did It Again album.
yeah, and from what I know about her lost album, she appeared on some radio show in LA all of a sudden, and she was talking about how she wanted to be wanted to describe herself as like the original doll, like talking about the fact that she's just like was so controlled by the um like show business machine, and she was always just like in the public eye, and everybody's constantly reprinting her, and that's also why she had a song on there called Mona Lisa.
Oh, I actually heard that because it was like going around YouTube, and people were making music videos for it.
Yeah, and there was even
Like way back when.
yeah, and there was even one YouTube channel that like tried to put together what could have been the whole track list for that lost album, using like all these unreleased songs and everything, along with like Why Don't You Do Something, you know, that song. I didn't remember
Yeah.
that one for so many years. It's like just until like I heard that, and I was like, wait, why does that one sound familiar? Because also they rumored that song was supposed to be on that album.
Huh. That her story is just so crazy. And it's really weird to reflect on it as an adult now, because my whole childhood I just thought that is the luckiest girl in the world. And then you grow up and you're like, no, she might be the most unlucky.
Oh yeah. I mean, I admit I was one of the kids in school with my friends, kind of like I want to say necessarily making fun of her head shaving incident, but just saying like, this is weird, what's wrong with her, what's going on here. But then I was only like 12 when it happened, and so obviously none of us had the same understanding about it all.
Well, and it's if you go, I went back and watched the footage and things, and just pretty much the way that the paparazzi and the media was treating her at the time. And especially right now, where we're in an instance where the media is like taking this moral high ground about everything. Like, you know, we are always good, and we always treat people good, and we always want what's best and stuff. And it's like, if you just go back to like 2010, they literally just tore a human being to the ground. Like, then they would just sit out and like film her crying and harass her for money.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, they even do it in K-pop. I mean, I don't know if you're that into K-pop, but I think like the equivalent to all of the Britney Spears case was the late star Sully, who was originally part of the girl group FX, and she
I
ended up. Hmm?
Oh, I was gonna say I actually don't know anything about K-pop, so
Oh, well, just to give you a quick rundown, she was she's part of a girl group called FX, but then she ended up leaving because despite the fact she was by then something like 22, she was caught being in a relationship with another star, and she was supposed to be kind of like the sweet, innocent girl and whatnot, but then she was caught in a relationship with a guy with a more quote unquote bad boy image, and the fans didn't like it, didn't sit well with the fans. Well, it was on both sides, like both sides, their fans were just angry at them because they also felt quote betrayed, which I'm like, you don't own your celebrities, which something I never understood in K-pop. They're the opposite to us in the West, where we almost just want to live vicariously through celebrities' relationships.
right.
And yeah, and basically what happened was the Korean media and just Asian media in general were just really like following this girl and following her all throughout all of her relationships and really like shaming her constantly over it. And then she ended up taking her own life about like 2-3 years ago.
Dang.
Yeah. And that's why I think we're kind of lucky that we still have Britney Spears still alive despite what she went through.
Dang. Yeah, she's strong for everything that she's been through.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I'm like, why do people still like just feed the media? And then that's where whenever I heard about these documentaries coming out all about the conservatorship, I was like, you people don't care. You're just trying to cash in again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So really that's why I thought like your whole drawing of that sort of like Britney Spears inspired and in the shadows inspired like drawing was quite an interesting one, because at least I interpret it as like um Britney or other celebrities being like chained by just the media and show business and just people.
Yeah, it really kind of makes me think of that song Slave for You.
Yeah, that one.
But yeah, that's really cool that you saw it like that, because that is really what I was going for. So that's cool that you appreciated it. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm glad that especially now more than ever, people are starting to realize that celebrities actually don't have such a glamorous life and that it really isn't that great being a celebrity. Because especially in the 2000s, people were just so idolizing these stars. I mean, they would idolize them, then tear them down again. And that's why like I'm just glad that there's more and more coming out about how Hollywood isn't such a great place.
Right? Like all the exposés on like how terrible it really was to be a child star on Disney or Nickelodeon.
Oh,
Or
Nickelodeon is evil. I mean, I was a Nickelodeon kid, and yet it was evil.
right.
Just not great at all. But yeah, we're sorry to cut this off where it is, but we've come to the end of our time on the Lotus Petal Podcast show.
Well, it was really awesome chatting with you. Thanks for having me on. I love talking
Yeah.
with you about everything.
Yeah, same. And I'll just say you'll send me all your social media links and I'll be posting them down below so people can check out all your amazing like art, especially the latest CryptoSluts collection, which has all these like amazing unique girls all just loving their favorite cryptocurrency.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. And do you have any last words to tell everybody?
Oh, goodness. Last words.
Can be anything.
Last words, if anything, definitely look into cryptocurrency, look into blockchain. It's going to revolutionize how we do everything in the economy. So it's worth looking into.
Great. And check out her CryptoSluts collection, all of her other art, because it's pretty unique stuff, guys. Like, seriously, it is.
Thank
So-
you so much.
You're welcome. So thank you, Fullmetal Magdalene, for coming on. You have such an awesome name too.
Thank you for having me on. I hope to be on again sometime.
Oh, you're always welcome to, anytime.
Awesome.
Okay, so this is Lotus Petal Podcast. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you all later.